The McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Nightwing Death in the Family figure from McFarlane Toys in today's episode. Today we're taking a look at the DC Multiverse Nightwing Death in the Family action figure from McFarlane Toys. And of course, as you can see, this is a little bit different version of Nightwing with the Joker face on it. Now, before we get into this review, if you will, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this content with all your friends. Now, let's get on with the review. First, we're going to take a look at the packaging. Like always, here we go. Looking at the front of the box, just a window look into the figure so you can see exactly what you're getting. DC Multiverse logo here. Side of the box just gives you the name Nightwing, and it tells you what this is based on, which is Death of the Family, which is a little bit of a run on Nightwing, and I think it had one issue of Batman tied into it as well. Back of the packaging gives you a nice look at Nightwing #1, as well as several other figures that can be had in this line. This side of the packaging gives you a window look into the figure as well as Nightwing's name again. Top of the box is a window, bottom of the box is the UPC and all the copyright gobbledygook. With that said, let's break this guy open and let's play. Now that we've got this guy unboxed, let's take a look at everything that he comes with. First, we're going to take a look at the accessories. First up, black disc base with the DC logo, like every one of these figures come with. This Nightwing card does come with some cool artwork, so I got to give props to McFarlane for that. Of late, he's been putting just like pictures of the actual toy on there. Not a big fan of that, but this one's pretty cool. Again, the thickness of the cardstock has gone down since the beginning of these figures, and here is a little bit of bio about this Nightwing. Finally, he comes with a couple of Escrima Sticks. These are exactly the same as the other ones that the other Nightwing figures have been coming with. Pretty nicely detailed, sculpted face. Nice paint on the teeth there. Again, as with all the McFarlane figures, you know, it could use a nice dark wash just to bring out some of the details on the face. I mean, you can see the details on the face, but a nice wash, like a darker painted wash, would really make this thing pop above and beyond. Now, everything else is exactly the same on this guy that in the other two videos that we've done, and I'll put links, you know, where you can look at those videos. I mean, it's exactly the same. The only difference here, the head sculpt is different, obviously. The paint on the neck to match the face, and this red is like a darker red than the previous release, which was a 2-pack, and it had like a brighter color red. See, this is more of a muted red. And what I'll do is let's bring in the other Nightwings that we do have. Here is this one, which came in a 2-pack, which I think had red hood in it. And you can tell, let's get them up close before we put them down. You can tell that the red on the costumes are different. Of course, this 2-pack one has a very much a brighter red than this one. Like I said, this one's a little more muted than that one is. Here are all three lined up so you can take a look at each one. Exact same sculpt. Nothing is different about this other than the face. And in fact, these two, this one and this one, are exactly the same, other than, you know, different paint apps. This one, of course, looks more like Jokerish than the other two, as you can tell. But I believe, no, these two have the same hair pieces. This one's a little more wilder hair. So they did do like a totally different head on this guy. Now, here's my question. So I have cha-ching, bought once, cha-ching, double dipped for the red hood, and cha-ching, now triple dipped into this one action figure. The only difference being the paint apps on on the logo and the legs, and of course the head. What I'm getting at is $24.99, $39.99, and $19.99. I don't know, to me this is sort of gouging the customer base here. I mean, you're really, McFarlane, you're really doing it to us this time. I don't know, I think we might have been better served if this was the original release here. This went in the 2-pack, And you know, with this original release, give him the extra Joker head for night. You know, add that into the original release. It just seems like we're getting more and more, we're getting gouged by these toy companies. I mean, they're giving you a lot less. I know the price is $19.99. I get that. You get a base, you get a couple of accessories, and you get this nice figure. But on the other hand, when I take this and I look at what other companies are doing, some of the accessories that you're getting with some of these other figures for the same price, I don't know. I just feel like I may have gone one figure too far with this sculpt. I mean, the sculpt is fine. It's a great Nightwing figure. Out of scale, amazingly out of scale with the rest of the DC Multiverse figures. I mean, Nightwing stands taller than Superman in most cases, and this is just not what I want to see. And again, the only real difference in this is a slightly different shade of red in the Joker face. Why not put the Joker face in there with this 2-pack and just, you know, I can live with that shade red if you just gave me that head, and then I could just display it as I needed to. But I don't know. I just feel at this point, especially with this figure, that we're getting gouged here as a customer. You know, it's on me. I've actually bought this, so all the blame is on me for buying this figure. I don't know. Am I losing my love for the DC Multiverse line? I mean, as somebody who's been buying them since the first figures that came out, I don't know. Seeing this really makes me wonder if I should just keep going with this. I don't know. But here's another look, just, you know, so you can get a decent look at all three figures together, see what they look like. My Sacrifice $19.99 allows you to look at all three figures up close, so you can see them in all their glory. I mean, this is a cool Joker Nightwing figure. I get it, but is it $19.99 worthy? Cool, I don't know. And something that I have noticed here with the multiverse figures, and I don't know if you're experiencing these same things. If you are, please leave a comment down below. These figures are on my shelf are starting to do this over time. They're leaning, they're leaning, they're leaning, they're leaning, they're leaning, you know, and I found myself having to go rearrange these figures to get them back up. I can stand this guy perfectly straight, and in a couple of days when I come back, you know, he's looking more and more like this, and sometimes backed up into another figure. And sometimes I've come and found all my figures, or in the ones on a particular shelf, just down, falling, because these figures are having a tough time balancing. And the only thing I can think is it's got to be this ankle joint, because that's where they're leaning. They're leaning from the ankles. This joint is just, it's too skinny. It's ugly as all get out, and I think over time it's actually failing the figure. Even with these bases, all my figures are on the base, and they still, you know, that's not keeping it from leaning back, I understand, but they're leaning back, and it's just making me, you know, cringe every time I come up here and see these figures leaning like this. All right, so that's it. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content with all your friends. I sure would appreciate it. All right, your last look at the Joker Nightwing figure from DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys.